Hello, everyone. My name is Marta Hernandez Fonteno. For those of you who do not know me, I work at Turning Point Peer Support Center, which is under the umbrella of Alliance Healthcare Services. And welcome to Optimism, the cornerstone of knowing how to lead a team. And I'm extremely happy to be here in the 2020 CPRS conference via Zoom. Thank you for your support and for deciding to be part of this workshop. I would like to start with talking a little bit about the definition of optimism. And optimism, according to the Webster's Dictionary, means hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. So, in other words, it means hope. It means confidence that even though you don't see things that are going to happen in the future, you believe, you have hope that something good is going to happen. So, when we exercise optimism, we are confident about our future. We focus on the things we can do and achieve, and those other things that we cannot control, we leave them aside. And that's what we are trying to share today. The importance of cultivating optimism. It can help you as a leader. When we cultivate optimism as leaders, we can achieve anything. We think that everything is possible if we put effort in it. We don't take negative traits seriously. It can boost your team's enthusiasm. You can instill hope in your team, and they can get stronger. By modeling optimism, you can inject that same positivism in them. It helps your team to stay the course. It helps the team to keep going strongly to the end or pursue a difficult task or activity until the end. Now, let me tell you a story about the beginning of the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, people were concerned about the future. People were concerned about their health. People were angry at being in the house all the time and being able to go out to the stores. People had many, many questions because they couldn't understand what was going on. They were arguing with each other, and empathy was not an option. Everyone was looking for their own benefits. And so we as staff were told by our company that we needed to go to these housing places within Alliance and do support groups, arts and craft groups, and try to instill a little bit of positivism, and optimism to these clients. At the beginning of the pandemic, even I got a little paranoid with everything that was going on. A lot of people were very, very anxious about the situation that was happening. And what we do was we actually instill positivism and optimism to the clients so that they know that everything was going to be fine. Yes, everything seems dark. Everything seems like it's out of order, but in the end, everything is going to be fine. So that's what we were trying to do when we went to the housings within Alliance. And I think we did good because the clients were more relaxed. They were thinking more about different options that they were having. And they started thinking more about the positive side of staying inside, like, for example, not getting contaminated or not getting sick with the coronavirus, et cetera, et cetera. So we reached the goal that we had for all of them. Now, I'm going to talk to you about 6 strategies that can help your optimism when leading teams. The first one is avoid getting stuck by the setbacks. Now, we know that setbacks are part of everyday life, but you don't need to stay stuck. You have to move on. If something happens that is kind of set you back, all you have to do is move on. Continue going. Don't stop. Prioritize self-care daily. Self-care is the #1 rule in our lives. We need to practice it every day. I know that if I would not practice self-care, I would not be here today. It's a very important part of my daily routine. Nurture optimism in team members. Teach them how to nurture optimism, how to look at the positive side of life and things that happen in it. Focus on the tone you set. Now, be careful the tone you set when sharing with your team. That's what we're going to teach you in this workshop. Be careful the tone you set. Depending on the tone you set, you're going to set the atmosphere. So we're going to show you how to do that. Practice future orientation as part of your leadership. Do not look at existing state of affairs, but sustain the belief that goals can be achieved no matter the setback. Focus on the future. Focus on the things that are going to happen in the future that you know that are going to be positive in your life. And last, improve your leadership communication skills. Learn the culture, traits, attitudes of each member of your team and learn how to communicate with each one of them. Now, we know that we have different attitudes, different personalities, different characteristics. And because we have all these differences, we need to learn everybody's culture, everybody's traits and attitudes so that we can communicate with them the best way that they can understand, okay? Avoid getting stopped. Avoid getting stopped by setbacks. So this is the first one. Remind yourself that setbacks are part of normal life. And we talk about this. Setbacks are normal. We are supposed to learn from our setbacks. We need to learn how to correct them to not fall in the same hole the next time. So things are going to happen in your life. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to fall. You're going to make mistakes. The important part of this is that you don't need to repeat them, because when you had a setback, that's supposed to help you to learn what not to do next time, okay? The second one is remain optimistic no matter if things go wrong. Now, don't look at what you did wrong, but how you did wrong. What was the mistake I made? Why did I fall? What happened? What was in the middle? What caused me to set back? What caused me to go back to the way I was? What caused me to have the symptoms or whatever happened in my life? What was wrong? Learn from it and use a different approach next time. Don't do the same thing. Don't go, if you know that there is a street full of dogs and they're vicious and they're going to bite you, you're not going to go to the same street every time, right? You're going to try to get another route. That's what a person would do, because you know that if the first time you went to the street and you find a couple of dogs and you were chasing by them, I am sure you're not going to take the same street, right? So, no matter what you do, learn from it and use a different approach next time. Know that you will have setbacks from time to time, but do not let that stop you from achieving your goals. A setback is an opportunity to check in and reset. It's like having a computer. Sometimes computers have viruses, or sometimes computers have updates, and you need to make that update. So what you're going to do? Okay, you're going to hit the reset button and you're going to start all over again. You're going to start everything from the beginning. And that's what you have to do when you have a setback, okay? The next one is prioritize self-care. And I want to spend some time with this because it's very important. Self-care is a daily important thing that everybody has to do. So exercise self-care. The first thing they tell you when you catch a plane, it's that in an emergency, what do you have to do first? You have to put your mask first, and then you can help the other person that is with you. If it's a child, if it's your husband, if he's unconscious, or your wife, you have to take care of yourself first, and then you have to take care of them. So exercising self-care is not only good for you, but it's also good for the person that is traveling with you, right? So if you don't put on your mask, what's going to happen is you're going to lose your breathing, you're going to lose your oxygen, and then both of you are going to be in trouble. So what you need to do is you need to actually put your mask first, take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of the other people. When you take care of yourself and do what you are supposed to do, your team benefits as well. I remember I was having a very bad situation going on in my life where I was actually having a bad time. I was actually having a kind of like a relapse. And you know what? When you have these things happening in your life, your team notice that something is not right. Something is off. And in a way, whatever was going on in my life was actually, it was actually not helping them because I didn't know how to react or what to do. So it's important that you take care of yourself and you do self-care, which is important. Avoid procrastinating. Like a lot of people do this when they are having a lot of stuff going on in their lives. But today, I want you to not procrastinate. There are different reasons why we procrastinate, but I think I'm going to use the reason that the reasons why I procrastinate. And one of the first reasons is that I have low self-efficacy. In order for me not to procrastinate, I create a small, quick wins by breaking down my commitments into smaller sections and commit to just completing one. So because I have a low self-efficacy, okay, and I know that I'm not going to do it as quickly as I want to, and I'm going to procrastinate, what I do is I take everything that I have to do or my commitments and I break them in little ones so that I can work in one little commitment at a time. If I have a week to do some paperwork, or if I have a day to do some paperwork, guess what? I do it every hour. I'll do something different until I'm finished. Okay. Number two is not enough value, depending on what I have to do. If it's something that is fun, if it's something that I like, if the task is not enjoyable, I am going to procrastinate. So what I do is I make it artificially enjoyable. I create in my mind that, okay, this monthly report is actually very fun. I get to see people who came to the center. I get to see people who participated in groups. I get to see people who have taken the responsibility of leadership and learning more, right? I make me a nice cup of coffee and I make me a nice cup of coffee and set the morning pace by just drinking my coffee. And my coffee is very important. Everybody who knows me knows that my coffee is very important in the morning. I don't get my coffee, you got in trouble, okay? So I did that. Number three is distractions. Oh my God. This office is in a very, very not very good place because I have a big window that I can see everything that's going outside. I can hear everybody, through the door or whatever. And so what happened is because I have so many distractions, I cannot get focused on what I have to do. So if you are addicted, let's suppose, some people are addicted to Facebook. I'm not, thank God. Or to games. Some people play games in their telephones, then what you need to do is you have to put that away in your drawer so that you don't, so that you avoid any distractions, okay? Do not rely on your willpower. Let me tell you something. Willpower is something very, very, very bad. You cannot sometimes rely on your willpower because if you know that you're on a diet and you know that you cannot eat certain things and you put that thing in there in front of you, guess what you're going to do? You're going to eat it. You're going to eat it. So try to get away from distractions. So if don't rely on your willpower. Take everything that distracts you from doing your job and finishing your task. Anything that distracts you, just look around and do it. And number four, I have problems with due dates. And people that know me know that I almost wait until the last time, the last day, and the last hour to finish my things, which is something that I'm working on. And I'm doing much better, thank God. So I set micro due dates by breaking the task into smaller tasks with different due dates. So if I have to finish my monthly report by the 15th, I start from the first of the month to start different things. I put in the names of the clients in a spreadsheet or entering the educational activities that we have or anything that has to be with the monthly report into the 15 or into before the 15. I'm trying to finish it before the 15, okay? Avoid delaying important decisions, okay? Delaying important decisions will bring more stress. And how many agree to that? Please do not postpone it. Sometimes there are things that we have to do every day. And when we postpone things, what happens is we create more chaos and create more stress. And what you want to do and what we want to do is actually to make it a better day. So do not, by any means, delay important decisions. I remember that one of my peer supporters here at the center was having some issues, and I needed to get together with her to let her know that her attitude and the things that she was doing were not appropriate. Well, guess what? I left that for the next day, and what happened? Well, the next day the person came differently. Things happened throughout the day. I kind of forgot, and I never had the conversation. And what happened was that on a day that she had one of those days that she used to have, because she doesn't have it anymore, um, I exploded because I needed to take care of that on that day, and I didn't. And it was more difficult for me because it was harder for me to express the things that I wanted to say in a positive way for her. And so I try not to delay important decisions or important conversations with people that I need to talk to. The next one is avoid not taking necessary risks for fear of failing. A lot of people made this mistake. They are so fearful that they're going to fail at something that they are not taking the necessary risk to be in a position or to be in a place that they're supposed to have. So there is a song called Fear is a Liar that I love. And it says that fear will take your breath and stop you in your steps. And this is the part that really concerns me, because fear can paralyze you completely. You can be totally paralyzed and not being able to do anything because of fear. So fear makes you see things bigger than they are, deeper than they are, darker than they are, and uglier than they are. I see failing as an opportunity to make it better. So every time I fall and I made a mistake, I try to make it better. I try to learn from that, and I try to move on and move forward. If you fail, stand up and walk up again. Don't give up. Okay. I remember that I went with my husband to Ruby Falls, and I decided to go on the zip line. And you know, the zip line, you have to go to the top, and then you have to slide, you have to zip, and then it will take you to another place, and then everything is over and everybody's happy. Well, guess what? I was talking to my husband. I was trying to convince him to go into this zip line. He's very afraid of heights. My husband does not like heights. And I thought I was okay with it, but I remember when I was going up the stairs to get to the zip line, I started getting more and more afraid. But I kept bugging my husband about, you have to do this, you love me, you have to do this. This is what I want to do with you. We want to have adventures and all of that. And he just jumped and he just went. And I was so proud of him for doing that. And, I was very happy for that. But when it was my turn and I saw how deep it was and how far the ground was, I got paralyzed and I couldn't move. And I told the guy that I couldn't do it. The guy said to me, I'm not supposed to push you. I am not supposed to do anything for you to be able to go in this zip line, but I have been hearing you talking to your husband about this and doing that. And if you don't jump, I will push you because you put him in a very, very bad position. I was like, I don't want to jump. So he said to me, just close your eyes, lift up your feet and just let it go. And I'm going to be honest, I was very afraid to the point that I closed my eyes. I just let myself slide and I went all the way down to the other session. And when I got to the other session, my feet were trembling so much. I was so scared. But then when I did it the second time, I was feeling better. I was feeling more energized. I was feeling more like I could do it. So it was easier for me. Of course, when I got to the bottom of it, I have to tell my husband, sorry for making you do this, honey. I'm sorry that I make you do this. I hope that you forgive me for what I did. Okay. But it was a fun, and I got rid of the fear, which was the most important thing. I don't know if I'll do it again, but hey, so do not let the setbacks stop you from doing what you're supposed to do, okay? Nurture optimism in team members. Okay, acknowledge and thank people individually. Now, when you acknowledge and thank people individually for their efforts and accomplishments, you are sending a strong signal that you value them, okay? Sometimes, and most of the time, we made the mistake of acknowledging the team, everything that the team is doing. And we forgot about the little things that other team members do, where they go above whatever they have to do. So try to acknowledge and thank people individually for their efforts and accomplishments, because with you doing this, you are sending a very strong signal that, hey, I am taking care of this. I am actually looking at you and seeing what you're doing. You have value to me. I am recognizing that you are moving above and beyond for whatever you're doing, right? Show them they are valuable for the company. You know, the Alliance Healthcare Services, which is the company that I work with, have taken the time for the week of employee appreciation a week. Every day we will receive something from the company. One day we'll receive a cup with some sanitizer and some candy and stuff like that. Another day we receive maybe some snacks. Another day we receive a little cup with some tea and some chocolate. Another day we receive a big bag with different snacks and stuff and different gifts that they give us. So the whole week they appreciate us for what we were doing. So appreciation can invigorate your team and boost their expectation of positive outcomes. It is a big part of learning how to lead a team. So when you lead a team, you have to understand that you have to show them that they are valuable, that they are valuable for the company, that what they do is important, because if it wasn't for them, the company wouldn't run the way that it runs. See each team member as a unique and gifted individual. See each person on the team as unique and gifted in their own way. Not everybody is creative in, let's put, an artistic way, but everybody has the way to be creative in a different form. So not everybody is creative or artsy, not everybody is philosophical, but everyone is unique and everybody has a unique way to do things. Learn their abilities and unique skills. Use that on their favor. If you have somebody who is very good at doing groups, then use that, and appreciate that. Recognize that they are gifted, that they are actually unique in that sense. Also, if you have somebody who is artistic, who knows how to paint and like doing things with the clients, appreciate that, let them know, appreciate them, let them know that they are unique and that they're gifted, and show them that not because the other person knows how to do something different, it means that they don't have qualities and skills that they can use in the job. Show them you expect them to succeed. Show them how you expect them to succeed and how much you believe in them. Show them that you don't want them to stay where they are. That is okay for now to be a peer, to work at the center, but if they have other skills that they can apply for other jobs that are going to be beneficial for them and for the family. Show them that you expect them to do good, that you expect them to do a good job, that you expect them to do the best they can, and appreciate them when they do, okay? Help them focus on the long-term goals and find something positive when things go wrong. Now, you can help them focus on the long-term goals by finding the positive in the event. Sometimes, our staff, our team members make mistakes. I don't think they mean to do it. I think that sometimes we are forgetful. Sometimes things happen that prevent us to do what we're supposed to do. But you know what? Show them to focus on the long-term goals and where they want to do, and not so much on the things that they did wrong. Show them how to prevent that, how to move forward. Remind them that setbacks are part of life, but they can find the good in every situation. So I'm a person who have a faith, and one of the things that I use a lot is the Bible verses quotes. Bible verses quotes. So one of the Bible verses that I like to use is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So everything that comes to my hand, I do it like it's for God. So in every situation, I thank God, because I know that even though I made a mistake, or even though I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, but I can learn from this and I can do it differently the next time, okay? Ask them questions, challenge them, okay? Challenge them by asking them questions like, what can you do to reach the best possible outcome despite the setback? No matter what happened, forget about what happened. Now, what can you do to reach the best possible outcome? What can you do to take the best out of this situation, okay? What are some creative ways to respond to this specific situation that happened just now? What can be salvaged, okay? What can you do? What did you learn from it that can help you in your future projects? Challenge them with these questions. You are going to be very surprised of what they're going to do and what they're going to answer if you ask them these questions. Focus on the tone you set, and this is a very important thing. Let me tell you a little story. As a Puerto Rican lady, I am very loud, and I know a lot of people that know me know that I am very loud. And so what happened is that when I'm talking to my team, sometimes I'm so passionate about different topics that I raise my voice. And I have some of the team members say, "But why are you hollering?" And things like that. But in reality, it's the way I talk. I'm not going to say that all Puerto Rican people talk loud. I know that there is some people that don't do it, but at least in my family, all of us scream. All of us talk loud, all of us. So sometimes when I speak to my staff and to the team, I set a tone that is not a very good tone. And I have asked them to let me know when that happens. We have a very open communication about that. Your tone will set the atmosphere. You are the key component of setting the atmosphere of your workplace. Show your optimism, even if you had a bad morning. Even if you had a morning that you think that you may not be able to go through the whole day. Show your enthusiasm to the people. Show them that you can do this. Share with them. One thing that we do in the morning when we come is we have a meet and greet or a check-in, where all of us say how we say. I've said, okay, I'm feeling lonely today, or I'm feeling angry today, and then I ask them, okay, can you share with us why you're angry? And if they said yes, and they share with me, I tell them, okay, we understand, but how is your percentage of the ability that you can do this job, and you can put this, whatever happened this morning, aside? And they will tell me, well, I think I can do a good job. Or they will tell me, well, I don't think I can handle this. And then we will consider what we can do so that I don't have to send them home. Because the majority of the time, if the person doesn't feel well to talk to clients and to share with them, then I would not want them to be involved with the clients. But the majority of the time, just sharing with us what's going on in their life help them to do that. So encourage people to find the positive side of every situation, which is what we do when we share whatever happened in our lives. In her book, The 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins teaches people that motivation is a myth, and that if you want to achieve a goal, all you have to do is put effort in it. Motivation is a myth, and I believe it too, because sometimes I don't have motivation, but I push myself. I force myself to make it happen. And this is exactly what you have to instill in your team. You have to instill in them strength and the ability to do anything that they can, all right? Raise self-awareness. Self-awareness means paying attention to the way you think, feel, and behave. To increase self-awareness, write down what you want to do and track your progress to learn more about yourself. So what I do is to raise awareness about what I do. I pay attention to how I think, what kind of thoughts am I having, what I'm feeling, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling lonely, and how I behave, not only with me, but with other people. Now, I write down everything that comes to my mind, and then I track the process, the progress to learn more about myself, to see if I can actually take care of this situation that is happening in me right now. Or it could be the way that I'm behaving or things like that. Spend some time thinking about the words you want to use. And this is so important. Oh my gosh, sometimes we use words just, I learned in one of the workshops, I believe it was in the CPRS conference, the first one that I went, that our words needed to be intentional. We need to know what we want to say. We need to use our words intentionally. And, think of words you want to use in different situations. Like rehearse what you're going to say before going to talk to the person, because it is very difficult for you to get caught up in an emotion of the moment and saying the wrong things. A lot of people have bad relationships with family members because they just express themselves the way that they want to express, and they forget that some of the words that we may say to people are going to hurt them. And so it's so very important that we think of the words that we want to say in different situations, rehearsing them so that we don't get in that problem. How to get the message across. You want to get a message across where people know and believe that you care about them, that they are important, not only for the company, but for you. And that you really care about what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and what is happening in their lives. Consider using words that lift people up. Uplift people, encourage them, uplift your team, but also uplift the individual. Talk to your team and tell them, wow, what a great work you're doing. You're doing an excellent job as a team, the way that you carry everything throughout the day. But also take the time to uplift the spirit of the person, the individual, the things that they're doing, and when they're going above and beyond for the company. Each person in your team not only needs to know that you see them as a whole, but as individuals with unique ideas. People want to share things. People want to share ideas. Allow them to do that. I'm going to tell you a little story about one of my peers. And she told me that it was okay for me to use her name. Her name is Nancy. When Nancy started working for the company, I remember I put her in the kitchen to do some food for the clients. And I remember how pale she got. She said, okay, but she didn't say anything. She just said, okay. So she went to the kitchen, and the daily menu was, I think it was spaghetti, some greens, and something else that I don't remember. I think it was spaghetti with meat sauce and some greens. And I remember that I went to the kitchen and I saw what she did, and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? What did you do? Well, she made she got a big pot, a big, huge pot of in the stove. And she also she used the whole thing of spaghetti that was like for 100 people. And she put it all in that pot, and she did all the meat, the whole meat thing, and a lot of greens. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't say anything. I didn't want her to feel bad, but she did say, well, I don't know how to cook, but I can follow a recipe if you allow me, So we were like, okay, it's okay, little by little, you're going to continue to do it. But, she felt very bad because she really did food like for 3 or 4 days. So she really felt very bad. But we as a team continued to encourage her to continue learning. We gave her some recipes for her to do. She will follow them. And now Nancy is one of the people that say to us, I want to cook today. And so the way that we encourage people, the way that we are optimistic that even though they made a mistake, even though they did something wrong, they're going to do it better. Eventually, they're going to do it better. So I have that for me, that's like a success story, because from being somebody that didn't know how to cook at all and now cooking for us, that's just a success story. And I'm so proud of her. So we don't have to ask her to cook anymore. She just offered herself to cook, and that's great. Practice future orientation. Sustain the belief that goals can be attained no matter the setback. Situations arise, yes, they do, that derail your progress. Things are going to happen that are going to send you back a little bit. Life happens. Life, everything that happens in our life is going to happen, and it's going to make us feel in a way, and it's going to maybe set us back a little bit. But in order to achieve your goals, we need to harness our determination by resetting and refine your approach. So it's like a computer. Sometimes our computers get messed up for some reason. We got a virus or whatever, and we need to reset it, because that's the only way that we can actually get all the information that was in that computer before. Well, we have to do the same thing with all the situations. Life happens, and in order for you to achieve your goals, you need to harness our determination. We have to be determined that no matter the setback, okay, we are going to believe that we're going to attain whatever it is. We're going to accomplish whatever we have in our minds to do, okay? Practice thinking and talking about the future with your team. It's very important that you have this conversation going with your team. Make a plan for the future. If you plan your potential pitfalls, it will be easier to overcome them. The best thing that you can do is prepare. What do people do when they go to the Army, when they go to the Navy? They prepare themselves and they try to see all the pitfalls, because that way it's going to be easier for them to overcome any obstacle that the enemy puts in front of them, right? You don't send nobody to the war with their eyes closed and not knowing what to do. They teach them first what to do and how to do the job, and then they send them. Anticipate possible challenges that can derail you from reaching your goals and create a plan to deal with those challenges. So if you know that a certain day you're going to have a certain workshop, and you know that one of your staff may call to say that they're sick, plan for that day what you should do, who's going to take charge of what, you know. Anticipate possible challenges that can derail you from reaching your goals and create a plan to deal with those challenges. Write it down. If so-and-so doesn't come to work, I'm going to call this person so that she could come and help me. If my car broke down, I'm going to call this company so that they could take out their car. I'm going to take an Uber to work, or whatever it is that's going to set you back. Plan for the long term continuously. Putting things on paper has a powerful effect on your ability to follow through. There is a survey that says that 42% of goals are more achievable when you write them down. If you write down what you're going to do and how long it's going to take you to be there, or if you say within 3 weeks, I am going to read this book within 3 weeks and write a paper about it. If you write it down, it's going to be 42% more achievable when you write that down. Place visual reminders like sticky notes or your phone, put a timer or in a calendar, put what you're going to do or what you have to do. Reinforce the importance of future vision. It is easy to focus on what is wrong in our lives. All of us do that. Our thoughts are like seeds planted in our minds, and our mind is the soil where that seed it will grow. So we plant a thought, which we call a seed, and that thought will grow depending on how much time we spend watering that thought. The more positive the thought, the bigger and healthier it will grow. So the more positive you think, the more optimistic you are, the easier it's gonna get in time. Plan what you want to harvest. If you don't want to be negative, do not plant in your head negative thoughts. Tell your team that the more they think about what kind of future they want to experience, the better chance they get to live that future. The best thing that you can do is visualize the future that you want to live, the things that you want to do with your family. Like I would love to have, I have 8 grandchildren from my husband, but I got 2 kids and none of them have kids. So I don't have grandchildren from them. But I cannot wait to have my own grandchildren, my blood grandchildren, you know? And so that is something that I think about, like, how would it be if I have a baby girl, a baby grandchild, or a boy grandchild? Where would I take them? What would I teach them? When do I get them? And all of that. Ask yourself and your team questions. Do my skills need updating? I know a lot of people, I remember that when I went to college for the first time, that was back in 1989. I used to do everything, every paper from the school, I used to do it in a typewriter. Now, you know that typewriters now are like a relic. A lot of people don't use typewriters that much. They use the computers or other things, but they don't use the typewriting. So do my skills need updating? Do I need to take a course on computer, Microsoft, Windows, whatever it is? Am I unleashing my full potential? Am I acquiring all the information that I need to be able to fulfill my dreams and my goals of the future? What else can I do to get my team ready for the future? What can I teach them? Where can I send them? What can we do as a team? And is technology updated as well? Do we know how to do PowerPoints? Do we know how to do Zoom meetings? Do we know how to go on Facebook Live? Whatever is necessary that we need to do, okay? Improve your leadership communication skills. Try to enhance your communication skills. Inspiring communication is a key component of how to lead a team. We need to inspire our team members that communication is very important, that what is not said is important, that if you don't say it, nobody's going to know it, or people are going to think that it's not important just because it wasn't said. So learn the different ways people communicate. I know I have different characteristics, different personalities. Some people like me to be bold. Some people like me to be more soft, more caring. Other people just want me to be just like, tell me like it is, okay? You can have a healthy dose of optimism if you keep yourself grounded. Okay, so you can, so I'm sorry, let me go back. Being optimistically does not mean being overconfident. So you can be optimistic, but it doesn't mean that you are overconfident. You have to pace yourself and put yourself in the ground and know that you can be optimistic, but you cannot be delusional. Okay, you have to actually know that whatever you are thinking and whatever you are hoping for the future, eventually is going to come out. But at the same time, I don't want you to be delusional about a thought, just because you're being overconfident. So you can be optimistic without being overconfident, because when you're being overconfident, then your feet are not going to be in the ground and you're going to have a problem. Or we're going to have a problem. It's about having hope and believing. We're trying to teach or to share with our team members that it's okay to believe that the future is going to be better. It's okay to believe that that hopefully we're going to get there one day, okay? Paint a picture of the future by using stories, metaphors, and analogies. I know that there was somebody very, very important in my life. My father used to all the time use stories and metaphors for everything. He used to tell us stories all the time to teach us something about life, okay? Vincent van Gogh said, I dream my painting and then I paint my dream. Painting a picture of your future means seeing more than your eyes can see. Even if you see that things are not right now, you better believe it that it could be better tomorrow. Share stories, metaphors, and analogies. Tell them to imagine how the world would be when they achieve their goals. What would happen? What would people say? How would they feel? How much would they have? What would they be able to acquire with the money or with the education or whatever they are getting, any goal that they get, okay? Tell them to imagine how the world would be when they achieve their goals. Tell them to let their imagination run wild. Think about what would happen if I get this position within this company. Alan Kay said that the best way to predict the future was to invent it. And I believe that too. We need to invent our own future. We need to invent our own life and we need to live it, okay? Communicate to your team where you want to go. Tell your team what are your goals and your aspirations. Share with your team where you see not only yourself, but also them in the future. Ask them what they think their life would be 5, 10, 15, or even 20 years from now. Be bold and ask them. Put them to think. Challenge them, okay? Okay, this is my presentation for today. Thank you for listening to this workshop. Again, the workshop was called Optimism, the cornerstone of knowing how to lead the team. I hope that this has helped you and that everybody can acquire the information that they need. In the end of this PowerPoint, there is my information, Turning Point Peer Support Center, the telephone number where you can call me and the email that you can call me regarding Turning Point or Alliance Healthcare Services. And also I put my ministry, which is Women Moving Forward and Coaching Experience for all of you that are interested in knowing more a little bit about that. You can also go to my website, Women Moving Forward at womenmovingforward.com. And you can send me emails and you can ask me about, you can ask me any questions that you need. You also have my phone number. I hope that you enjoy this workshop the same way that I enjoy it. And see you next time. And if you have any questions, please post them down so that the person that is helping me with the workshop can give me those questions and I can answer them at the end. Have a good day and enjoy your day.